Hello and thanks for joining me. Well, as you can probably see from my surroundings, this has been absolutely no use to me whatsoever today. Well, it's New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2019, and I thought I'll do a roundup of the year and a spot of photography at the summit of a Snowdonia mountain. What better place? And I'm currently at the summit of a Garn at 947 metres in the Glideri range in Snowdonia. And I had hoped I'd be able to get some spectacular images. There's quite some impressive snow banks around and some mist moving through. Unfortunately, it's come down solid and there's nothing to see. I've probably got visibility of about 60 feet. However, this is the perfect place to say thank you ever so much for tuning in to my very brief review of the year. I'm going to be sharing a few things that I consider to be personal highlights and things that have made 2019 quite special. So I'm going to head off back down the mountain and I shall speak to you all again shortly. Well, those were the best images I was able to get from that particular hike down in the valley by Cumidwell underneath the cloud cover. I'm not really disappointed though, because of course there'll be plenty of opportunities to get back up with the epic views in the coming year. But it's good fun actually to be up on the high ridges where you're having to practice your navigation skills to avoid getting into trouble when you've got almost zero visibility. So I really enjoyed myself. But that's enough about my latest hike. Let's have a talk about 2019. The first thing I wanted to say about it, the highlight for me has been all of the support and the friendships that I've made that have been reinforced during 2019. Say what you like about social media, but through photography and social media, I've made a wide range of really good new friends that I'm spending increasing amounts of time with. And if I'm not actually with them, we're able to stay in touch with social media. So that's been a really big plus. And as far as the support of my YouTube channel goes, the subscribers and the people that comment, and I really appreciate it. I can't thank you enough. But one of the highlights for me during this year, or I should say several of the highlights for me during this year, have been the meetups that we've arranged through the Facebook group UTOGs, which is well worth popping along and joining. And as it happens, we have a meetup planned for early February 2020, where we're going to the Peak District. So if you haven't joined up and you fancy coming along and meeting some new friends, please do. We did a similar sort of thing towards the end of January last year in the North Yorkshire area around Malham, Janet's Foss and Goredale Scar, and it was an absolutely brilliant day out. There was 30 or so of us, pretty much just going for a bit of a hike. There was a lot of photography talk and it was really good fun. And that was a real highlight. And during the year, my good friend Mally Davies has arranged a number of meetups. And if you haven't checked Mally's channel out, please do. It's really well worth a look. So Mally's meetups have been really good. I would have liked to have got to more, but unfortunately some of them are quite far afield from where I live, out on a limb on the island here.
Welcome to another landscape photography vlog from me, Mally Davies Photography. I am so excited!
And then, of course, if you follow my channel, you'll know that I was very kindly invited to stay with a friend in Toronto, which tied in with another UTOGs meetup at Niagara Falls. What an amazing few days that was. Now, I'm going to feature not my video from that particular trip, but that of Simon Byrne, my good friend, who is an absolutely sensational filmmaker, a really great creator. And if you haven't checked his channel out, I'd strongly recommend that as well. So that was a real series of highlights for me in 2019, these meetups, and I'm really hopeful of more in the new year. Now, the next thing I wanted to share with you is my favourite vlog of the year. Now, the lovely Mrs. G said to me the other day, "Oh, all you ever do is sit and watch photography videos on YouTube," and she's Quite right, that's pretty much all I do when I'm not doing photography myself. But there is, in this particular year, one standout video that was really easy to pick out as my favourite vlog of the year. When somebody comes to your patch and reacts in this way, you can't help but having it as your favourite vlog. And that's all I'm going to say about it, except for you absolutely must check Gary out if you haven't done so already.
You've got a fantastic view across an absolute mill pond lake to Snowdonia, and then you walk up here and you've got a waterfall. It's just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal place. I love... Oh. I'm actually... Jesus, I'm actually getting emotional about it. I can't believe how beautiful this place is. I really can't.
And so to my favourite image of the year. This image was taken from a vlog that my friend Adam Russell made, and as with all the others, if you haven't checked him out, I strongly recommend you do. He's a really engaging guy and a really good photographer. He took an image when he was vlogging from Tenby in South Wales. Now, it's an area that I know really well because I lived there for many years. So it was nice to see somebody taking pictures there. But the most important thing about this particular vlog is that it produced my favourite image of the year. Now, I commented at the time that it was my favourite image, and that was months ago, and it hasn't been bettered as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely love the light and the composition and the mood and the story. It's as if he'd gone out and asked a whole bunch of people to park their boats nicely spaced out for him to take a picture of them in the setting sun. But actually, it illustrates two really important lessons for photographers, not just landscape photographers. The first is to know your equipment inside out. Adam was able to really quickly point his camera at it, even though it wasn't the main composition he was working on, and he didn't have to really think about his settings to get a great image. But also he was able to spot the image in the first place. So those two key lessons that I took away from this video is know your equipment and be able to spot and recognize subjects so you can grab that picture. And in my own portfolio, for every image that I spent ages setting up and putting the camera on the tripod and waiting for the light and all that stuff, there's another image that was literally a point and click, knowing my settings would capture the image correctly. So worth bearing that in mind. Anyway, that's all I have to offer for my highlights of 2019, except to leave you with a final idea that I stole unashamedly from the fabulous Steve Onions. And you must have heard of Steve. If you haven't, again, please check out his channel. But he put a video out with no commentary, just his favourite image from each month of the year, whether or not it was portfolio worthy. One a month. And I'm going to leave you with that for 2019 and say thank you ever so much once again for all your support. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't done it yet, why not subscribe now and join me next time? Cheers.